Know the difference between what's partially reopened and what's closed. Now, closed may seem fairly straightforward because when something is closed, that means you can no longer access that business at all. That means it's not open to the public, you're not able to utilize it. Partial reopening can have a variety of different meanings. It means that certain businesses may be open, and those businesses may be open with various criteria that they have to follow, meaning maybe they can only allow for a certain number of occupancy. Maybe, what I mean by that, meaning they can only allow maybe 4 or 5 or 6 or 20 people or a percentage of those people in at a given time. They may require that you have to wear a mask. They may require that you may have to use personal protective equipment. They may require that you have to space yourself out. So keep in mind that when a government or a local entity says we're partially open, that even though those businesses and those establishments may be open, they may be opened with specific criteria attached to them. So every state is different, and I want to tell you why I say this. I want to give you a geographical area to think about. Look at the Northeast, and I'm going to give these states: Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and I'm going to include DC in there. And so why am I giving you these examples? Because when you're moving from state to state, it's easy, especially or even community to community, it's easy to think that what's happening in the community you just came from may also be occurring there. So you may go to an establishment in one county or one state and they're open, but then go to a neighboring county or a neighboring state and they're not. So it's important that you take the opportunity to educate yourself if you're going to start maneuvering from county to city, county, city to state. What are the requirements for those particular areas so that you don't find yourself operating under the guise of some other state's requirements or some other city's requirements or even county requirements. You are still assuming the risk of exposure regardless. States and cities and counties and even local businesses and establishments are trying to figure out a balance to be able to continue to provide services to their communities, but at the same time protecting them at the same time. If you're in an area where you're maneuvering through different cities or counties or whatever the case may be, and they're operating under different criteria, educate yourselves about those different criteria so that as you move through different places where they're partially reopened or closed, you'll know how to best protect yourself when you're dealing with these different entities.